Okay, so now I'm going to be reviewing Evil Dead 2, which is also called Dead by Dawn. It's directed by, of course, Sam Raimi. It stars Bruce Campbell, Sarah Berry, Dan Hicks, Cassie Wesley, and Richard Ramirez. Um, Now the plot of this movie is basically a remake of the original movie, because I believe that Sam Raimi could not get the rights to the original movie to make a sequel, so he basically had to remake the movie again. But it's different because, unlike the original Evil Dead, which was more like a straight up horror movie, this one is more of a slapstick comedy, horror comedy. Also, it primarily focuses on Ash and his girlfriend at the beginning, which is only like 5 minutes, and then some new characters come in, which is the archaeologist's daughter. That the audio recording from the original movie with the archaeologist, his daughter is in this one, and I guess a boyfriend and two redneck characters to help him get to the house, to the cabin. So it's not like Ash, like in the original, Ash, his girlfriend, and a group of friends. Now, like with this one, it's kind of hard to explain because it just like jumps right into the movie, like jumps right into the action. I'm not kidding. It's literally 5 minutes where Ash and his girlfriend arrive at the cabin. They have like a little sweet moment. Then he reads from the Necronomicon. The window smashes open. She is possessed by a deadite. He has to kill her, or she chases him through the cabin. He has to kill her, and then he has to deal with all that before these new group of people come into the house. And I mean, most of it is Ash just by himself, and that's where the comedy stuff comes in. Because this scene was pretty cool, like because I like claymation and stop motion stuff. Where like Ash, he's cut he had to kill a dead. How you kill a deadite is you cut their heads off, and you have to cut off all their limbs. And in this case, I don't know if it's her body or a different body, but there's a like skeletal body that walks up out the ground and like puts Cheryl's head on its head, and it's like sitting there doing this weird dance. And then later on, when Ash is like preparing to you know fight the Deadites, preparing to fight the Deadites or something. I forgot what happened exactly, but oh no, he I forgot. Damn, I watched these movies a few days ago. But he has to go to the woodshed for something, and she comes in. The skeletal body, comes in and tries to attack him. But he has Cheryl's head. I think Cheryl's head was probably attacking him before, because he puts her head in a vice and is like crushing it. And then like the headless body comes in with the chainsaw, and it's like trying to kill Ash, and then Ash pushes it onto the neck of the body, and it starts cutting itself in half. Like that was pretty like cool and kind of funny in my opinion. The one thing I don't like about this movie is the humor. I'm not a fan of the humor. Don't get me wrong. I like horror comedies, but the comedy in this one just doesn't work for me, in my opinion. Um, and I do like regular comedies, so. But yeah, there's like that scene. There's a scene where it's one of the more iconic scenes from the movie where Ash's hand goes crazy, and he has to chop it off. One of his hands go crazy. He has to chop it off, and that's where we get the Ash with the chainsaw for a hand, because he cuts the hand off with the chainsaw. But later on, when he's fighting the Deadite, he puts the chainsaw on his hand, where his missing hand is. And then there's a scene where like a moose's head or a deer head, I think it's a moose head, starts laughing at him, and then he starts laughing at it, and then a bunch of the other objects in the house start laughing at him, and it's just like it's unfunny in my opinion, but it's one of the more iconic scenes from this movie, and that goes on for a bit, and then when the archaeologist comes to the house with her boyfriend and the two redneck characters, the movie just goes crazy off from there. There's they read from this, or they play a tape recording, and in the recording it says that the husband had to lock his wife Henrietta down in the cellar because she turned into a deadite. So when they arrive, they think Ash, the archaeologist's daughter, and the boyfriend think that Ash killed her parents. So they throw him down into the basement. And then when he's down there, they play the recording, and then Henrietta comes alive. And I thought Henrietta was like one of the more funnier Deadites, and she looks much better than the Deadites in the original movie. And she makes an appearance in the Ash vs. Evil Dead TV show too, which I'm not gonna review, or the Evil Dead remake. But she's like, "Come here so I can eat your sweet soul." It was so like creepy but funny. So yeah, there's the Henrietta Deadite that they have to fight. There's also one of the other people get possessed. I forgot his name, but it's the archaeologist's girlfriend, or no, boyfriend. I mean, sorry. He gets possessed and he like floats up in the air like they all do, and he goes, and he looks a little bit better than the Deadites in this, but it's like his mouth is like sucked out or something, and he goes like, "Dead by dawn, dead by dawn, dead by dawn." And I was just thinking, because I don't know if anyone listens to metal, but there's a song by the band Deicide called "Dead by Dawn," which is based off of this movie, and the singer in it he goes like, "Dead by dawn, dead by dawn, dead by dawn." And I was like, "Oh, that's cool." He said it like in how the cadence of how the Deadite in the movie says it, which I didn't know. I thought that was cool. But yeah, there's that Deadite that Ash ends up killing. And then there's this oh yeah, there's this one scene where the redneck character, something happens, I guess him and Ash get into a scuffle, but he gets pushed on top of where the cellar is, where the cellar door where Henrietta is hiding at, or is underneath, and Henrietta ends up grabbing him, and like a bunch of blood squirts out, and it's just like a pool of blood, or river, gush. I would say gushes of blood just shooting out of the cellar door. And then at the end, it gets really crazy because like Ash gets possessed by a Deadite, or he turns into like a Deadite, but he turns back to human, which I didn't understand because they didn't carry it on into Army of Darkness. Because I think this is the only movie that connects to Army of Darkness. Because when they're reading the book, Ash and the archaeologist's daughter, there's a picture of him back in the 1300s, like a drawing back in the 1300s, during the medieval era, and that's when Army of Darkness takes place. But yeah, but there's this whole crazy scene at the end where they have to close the portal and send the Deadites back to where they came from before, and like this demon thing, it kind of reminded me a bit of like Peter Jackson's at the end of Dead Alive, when this big ass ugly creature comes and tries to take one of the main characters. I got a mixture of that and the engineer Cenobite from the original Hellraiser, and it like bursts through the door, and even a little bit of like the tree from Poltergeist. Like it breaks through the door and tries to grab Ash and pull him out, and I thought that scene was really cool. Because like I said, I'm not a fan of this movie. Like I'm really, like, not a big fan of it. I don't like the humor in it. the acting's fine. Like the acting's way better than in the original movie, but it's like acting the play is played up for the laughs, and then like I don't like the humor in it. I'm not a big fan of slapstick humor, so I really didn't remember a lot of the scenes from this movie, like especially the end. Well, like I was saying, like the creature is trying to pull him through the door, and she's trying to read it, but then she gets killed because she gets stabbed by Ash's evil hand with a dagger, and then Ash gets sucked through, and he goes to the other dimension, which is the 1300s, and that's where Army of Darkness picks up. Now, I know this was a rambling review, but I don't really know what else much to say about it. Like I was trying to say, like the acting's fine in this, is better than in the original, but it's played up more for laughs. Um, the comedy doesn't work for me. I'm not a big fan of slapstick comedy. I do like horror comedies. I like Return of the Living Dead, Dead Alive, um, Basket Case, and some others. I can't really think of the other ones right now, but yeah, I mean, I know that I'm in the minority because there's a lot of people that love Evil Dead 2. That's their favorite one. But to me, it's not my favorite, but I'm in the minority. Anyways, that's my review. I don't know really much more to say about it. That's my review.